just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, you've got nothing to lose. You've already proven yourself. Don't stop.
You already know that you have more in the tank.
Yeah.
To keep going because you've already proven it to yourself.
Correct.
Okay.
Just keep grinding.
Keep grinding.
What's up, guys? My name's Chris. I'm an entrepreneur in Sarasota. This year, I'm sitting down with business owners to learn all about their journeys, their triumphs, their struggles, and everything they've learned along the way. We're talking with Alex Garner in both the past and the present, and reflecting on his first year in business. This is Stir.
Alex Garner, tell us, who are you?
Well, my name is Alex Garner, and I just started this week my new business, Garner Wealth Management.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what it is that you're going to be doing.
Yep, so I'm going to be doing a combination of both just basic what you would call like financial planning, financial advising, and also incorporating just the investment side of it back into it as well. I've been in the industry now for over 5 years. I started out at one of the major broker dealers, one of the big firms. I don't want to drop their name, but they got me into the industry. You know, that's where I got licensed and kind of just figured out what this world is. Then I moved quickly to a company that works almost exclusively with the military, which I loved. And what I learned there was how to actually create financial plans. And that's all I did for, 3.5 years was just for every client I was in front of, I built a financial plan, just showing exactly what they needed to do to accomplish their goals. But I didn't do anything on the investment side, really. It's like I did, but I did what I would call just like very basic things, just putting them straight into what we call like an A-share mutual fund, just putting them straight into something where I didn't get to do any of the selection process. And then for the past year, I've been working for a small firm here in Sarasota, and I learned a lot about actual investment picking, stock picking, ETFs, and more of what I would call like the fun side of this industry, of like really like sitting down with somebody and saying, all right, you're into this, this, and this, let's invest you in those things, So that then out of all the time, now I've come to the conclusion that I want to do the combination of both, because the platform I was working with at my last firm, I wasn't really able to do the planning. And then the platform I was with at my, like I said, the firm before that, I wasn't really able to do the stock picking. So I kind of want to do this so that I can have the combination of both, bring it together. And then also it's just time. It's time to get behind my name, like really say if I'm willing to put my name on it, that means I'm confident in it, and I think it builds better reputation with somebody, and then I can build a stronger relationship with someone rather than just saying, oh, I'm working for this company that you're never going to meet the person who owns the company. You're not going to know whether I'm the one who's actually investing your money or if some other person is. But now that it's Garner Wealth Management, when I'm sitting down with somebody, I can say to them, I'm doing everything for you. I'm creating your financial plan, and I'm going to be investing your money. So,
okay, so you're fresh into it. What leading up to this, what has been the biggest struggle or hurdle that you've encountered so far?
The biggest struggle and fear of going off on your own is that there's going to be a time frame that you don't have a paycheck. You have to make that decision of saying, all right, I'm going to walk away from some form of steady income so that I can build this business. And even through the process of building it, I said to myself, I'm like, all right, I have to be able to survive at least 6 months without making anything. Because whatever I do end up making has to essentially go directly back into the business, because you have to put it directly back in to continue your marketing or to just whatever. There's just things cost money, cost money to make money. So I think that was the first big hurdle, having that fear of just making that jump and knowing that I still have to fight.
Part of the reason we're filming this today is because you're just getting started.
Yeah.
And the plan is that a year from now, we're going to sit down again and see where you're at.
Yep.
Okay. And I have all the confidence in the world that you're going to be where you want to be.
Yep.
I want you to think in your head, don't say it out loud, where you want to be book of business wise revenue and income wise and peace of mind wise. Okay? When we sit and look at this a year from now and we sit down, I'm going to ask you about that number.
Okay.
Or those numbers. We are back. That year went really fast for all of you at home. Probably kind of fast for us as well.
Yeah, COVID
Yeah.
was interesting.
COVID year, yeah, absolutely. So thanks for coming back. I appreciate that. First question I'm going to ask you is right off of where we ended last time. It's been a year later. You know, last time you were here, you were 1 week into your new venture, and lots of years in the business, in the industry, but 1 week into your new venture. How's the first year been?
You know, what I would say, the fact that I survived. You know, I'm here. You know, they say any business, you've got such a high percentage chance of just failing. You know, if a company can make it through 1 year, you're good. And it was probably about 6 months before I paid myself.
Okay.
And even at that point, I paid myself, I think it was $54.
Oh, big money, big
money, you know. Yeah, and then a few months later, my overhead was over $2,000 just to stay alive. So it was like one of those things, like, did I really pay myself if I then had to, you know, stroke a check for even more? But then around the 9-month time frame, I finally hit the point where I'm actually paying myself consistently, and I'm here. So it's like I can't complain. I'm blessed that the amount of clients that came over, and I'm happy where I'm at. So.
With COVID going on in your first year, I may know the answer to this, but was that your biggest hurdle in your first year, or was it something else?
You know, I kind of looked at COVID as an opportunity where, like I said, surviving was my number one goal.
Yeah.
And I knew that because COVID happened, if all I did was just moved over the amount of clients I needed to move over, and kept working with them and kept making them successful, I was in turn going to be successful. So what happened was exactly what I wanted to happen happened. It's just I can't predict the number of the exact amount of my clients that would move over. I can't predict the economy. I can't predict the markets. I don't know if the value of my clients' accounts are going to double in a year. You know, it's like it's hard to tell what's going to happen. So it was more the perception of COVID than it was actually COVID in general. So less of my clients moved over than I thought would have. And their reasoning was just, I'm kind of worried right now. I'm kind of worried to make moves. I'm worried to make changes. The fear of clients wanting to move and deal with the stress of that has been kind of more of the hurdle than anything. But it's creating an opportunity, because right now, because out of the clients that I did move over, I've done very well for them. And it's made it where as soon as other clients call me up or talk to me or talk to my existing clients and they're like, how are things going? Things are going well. So that makes more clients. I'm probably getting 2 or 3 new clients a month. Some of those are new, and some of them are new in the sense that they're with my old firm and then coming over.
So I see. I mean, that's the name of the game. As long as you're doing right by people, it's going to grow, right? Like different industries and different time periods, it'll be for different people. But as long as you're doing right by people, it will continue to grow. So so it kind of was COVID related. Was your biggest hurdle?
Yeah.
That's, you know, I would say good. Listen, the world's changed, right? The way that we do business, the way that we can, you know, interact with each other, engage with each other. It's very different than it was even 5 years ago.
Yep.
Some people, unfortunately, aren't prepared or willing to make that transition. Those people who do or are prepared to transition to those things are going to thrive. You know, it's just almost like, you know, when you work out, the higher resistance, it trains your body to do better, right? Like to get stronger. I think this is our resistance.
Yep.
You know, that we're fighting against. So, but yeah, man. So so substitute teacher. What made you get into that?
So, a whole lot of things. I would say the number one thing is COVID, because my wife teaches at a Title I school in Manatee County. Okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to sign up to be a sub. And then I found out when I signed up, I was like, there's 50 substitute options in Manatee County every single day. 50 different places I could go to, different schools, different locations, different everything. Wow. It's nuts, the amount of need they have for subs. So I did it just kind of as like I wanted to help out. And then I realized I enjoy it. I enjoy the math, the science, and the technology, and the business classes, things like that. So I'm like, all right, I enjoy this. I didn't necessarily like the elementary. I was helping her out in elementary school.
Yeah.
Realized that that wasn't my forte, but I like doing middle and high school, so I still do it 1 or 2 days a week. And then when I got into that, then one of my clients actually who's really into technology and everything like that, he sent me a video for the synthesis school.
Right. Okay.
And the synthesis school was started at SpaceX, basically gameplay where the kids learn critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, teamwork, all these things. And they were like, all right, let's implement that and turn it into an actual like online school where kids from all over the world can log on once a week, join their cohort is what we call our classes.
Okay.
And their cohort just plays games for an hour once a week, and these kids are learning all these amazing skills. And these are kids are between about, I think, we just kind of expanded. So it's between like 8 and 14 years old.
Okay.
Is the age range of these groups. And my cohort meets. We got one cohort right now that I run, and we meet once a week, every Thursday evening. We play these games, and these kids are some of the smartest kids I've ever met in my life. And they're from all over the country. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it.
Sounds like it. The first year in business, was it worth it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the biggest thing that I learned. I'm not going to ever talk down the other companies I worked for,
Sure.
you know. But the biggest thing I learned is that I don't want to work for those companies. I want to work for myself because I want to be able to work with the clients I want to work with. And also, I don't feel that I'm actually could ever live up to my fiduciary duty working for another company.
All right. So, do you remember what the number was?
Off the top of my head, I probably do. Yeah, I think I know what the number was.
Okay. So don't say it out loud, but
Yeah.
did you hit that number?
So, I was actually watching that and then thinking very specifically of something you said. So, the specific number wise, no, I did not hit that number.
Okay.
But the last thing you said was, where do you want your business to be peace of mind wise?
Right.
And I'm kind of, as I said at the beginning, not the beginning of the beginning, but the beginning of just today, I'm very happy where I am. Very happy where my business is. Peace of mind wise, you know, obviously, yes, my actual number of assets under management that I take care of is not where I want it to be.
Okay.
I still don't think it ever will be where I want it to be. Like now, if you just ask me that exact same question right now, where do you think you're gonna hit that number next year? Or like, so if you ask me like right now, is that number the same? It's not the same right now because now, based on where I'm at, I should be there in the next few months. Like I think I am. Like I'm on the right track to
Almost
hit there
there.
next few months. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would want to have that stretch goal. So in my mind, I would actually create a number that is, you know, not quite double, but close to double that goal.
Okay.
And so I'm where I want to be because I'm content. I'm alive.
Peace of mind.
I've got good peace of mind.
And that's why I asked it that way, because there are people out there that make, you know, $100,000 a month that are not happy.
Yeah.
Right? They're just not enjoying life. And I know guys that are making $3,000 a month that are living the life. They're happy as could be. They got 1.5 kids, like we were talking about. You know, whatever. They got the dog, they got the wife, everything's good. That I feel like that is as or more important. The peace of mind. If you're living the life that you want and running a business, those are hard to do together. So,
Yep.
very good. I'm happy for you.
You should really enjoy what you're doing and enjoy the life you're living and realize that it can always be worse, you know, like.
Oh yeah. 100%. Okay. When you talk about that peace of mind, that's what we want, but what is it that keeps you pushing for more?
Yeah.
Because you got to have that, you know, Mark Cuban says that piss and vinegar. You know, you start out, you got that piss and vinegar, and then when you're in the business, you know, 10 years or whatever, it's just like, it's another day. You lose that piss and vinegar. Are you going to be able to keep that, and how?
That's a good question. You know, money has never been my God, in the sense that, like, I actually don't. It's just so funny that like my job is taking care of money and worrying about people's money and dealing with people's money, and I personally have never cared about money. My goal is just to take care of people and make people happy. So it's my number one people that I want to work with are young families, young individuals, people who've never sat with a financial advisor, no idea what the heck they're doing in life. And all I do for them is say, you really need to be saving. You need to have a budget. You need to start putting at least $500 a month into probably a Roth IRA. That's if they're in the demographics. That's probably what they need to be putting their money into. And if I can just save those people from making the horrible decision of not doing anything, I'm living a successful life and really helping them for the long run. Now, if that's 4 out of 5 I do, or even 9 out of 10 of the clients I have is that, and then 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 is one of their parents who have a $500,000 or $1 million life savings, and I pick that client up, that's my dream, is just to be able to can help as many people as I can, and then help enough higher net worth people to sustain my business, to keep me in business, to keep helping everyone else.
Nice.
So that's that's kind of what my business is based off of, is just making enough money to keep helping as many people as possible.
I think that's the best answer that anybody could give to that. That's well said. I appreciate that. In talking to somebody who's going to jump into a venture in your industry, you know, they're thinking about starting that business, going out on their own. You know, because you just lived it, what their first year is going to be like. So what advice would you give to somebody who's going to start their business later this year?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Run away, man.
Yeah, no. My dad always told me this funny joke. He said, the cool thing about working for yourself is you get to pick the 60 hours a week you work.
There you go.
You know, everyone's always like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. You know, a 9 to 5
What's that,
is
man?
a break. It's hard to get into to get to the position I'm in right now at this moment. And what I mean by that isn't like, I'm not saying like, oh, look at me, I did it, you know. Yeah. But the whole industry is designed for young kids who have no idea what they're doing, for companies to hire on a whole bunch of them, see how many of them can pass the Series 7.
Okay.
And then see how many of them can then survive off of nothing for a year. And then the small percentage, the like 10, 20% of them that can survive through that first year of hell, cool. They get to now have the honor of working for that company and taking home 50 to 60% of what they earn, and then the company taking the other 40, 50%.
Right.
You know, it's a tough job, and it's hard to get through that first few years. I recommend everyone who wants to pursue it, do it, go that route. It is a pain. It is difficult. Get your licenses, get some experience, understand it before you decide to take this leap of going off on your own, because this part is terrifying. And you're going to go in debt, like you're going to go in debt financially, but you're also just going to go in debt like emotionally and mentally. Like when you're watching all of your friends that like, even if they're having like, you know, what I would call like middle income jobs, they're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and you're just like hoping you get that next client next month so that you can take your wife out to dinner,
man.
and pay your mortgage. You know, it is stressful, but I cannot imagine I can't imagine living a life where it's not in my hands. You know, where I'm just completely putting faith in either, you know, whether it's faith in the government or faith in the man or faith in the system or faith in one business or things like that. I had to go the path I did because that's the person I am. But if I was talking to just a young kid right now that wants to get into my industry, I would say, put your head down, get ready to work, but go to one of the, what we just call the big brokerage firms, and get that initial education, get that slap in the face of this is what the work is like.
Cut your teeth.
Cut your teeth. So it's been a ride. but I can't see myself ever wanting to do anything else. Like I'm, whether it's always the number one job I have, like I'm enjoying teaching. I'm enjoying my education side of things. Obviously, like I said, I want to get into politics, want to do that kind of thing. I don't know if advising people on their finances and investing people's money is always going to be my number one. Right now it is, and but I'm always going to do it. It's too much fun.
It's helping people, and
it's helping people, and I get to be the, people will talk to you about the most personal things in their life before they'll ever talk to you about their finances.
That's right.
And I really enjoy being the person that they'll talk about their personal stuff and their financial stuff, and being their number one person to talk about anything they have in their life, and me being able to do everything I can to help them. So
wonderful. Well, I appreciate you joining us. It's been a pleasure. I wish you luck on your second year. I know you're gonna kill it, and I'll talk to you real soon. All right.
Sounds good. I really appreciate it.